This is just an end of the week wrap up video on what my trades were and how they turned out and what exactly I made off of them. So on the 15th, I sold 5 contracts worth of open on cash secured puts at 2.5 for 9.4 cents. I then subsequently bought it back for point zero 0.02 cents to have a total return of $37.26. Now, open on Friday closed at 5:27. It had a, well, phenomenal week going from the likes of about, what was this, $3.32 was, no, even lower. It went down to $3. It just kind of bounced around between the two, and I thought it came to Thursday, and I thought, it could go either way on Friday. So I just ended up closing it for 2 pennies. But then Jay Powell came out at the Jackson Hole conference and said he was going to be dropping interest rates. I have to correct myself and say he did not say actually in as many words that they would be cutting interest rates by 0.25 basis points or 0.50 basis points. What they did say was that the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting our policy stance. What does that mean? Probably that they're going to cut interest rates in the next coming meeting in September. The balance of risks appear to be shifting between the central bank's dual mandate of full employment and stable prices. He cited sweeping changes in tax, trade, and immigration policies. So the expectation for quarter point cut in September surged to roughly 83%, falling 75% earlier in the week, according to the CME Group's Fed Watch tool. The bar is extremely high now for the Fed to leave rates unchanged in less than a month. So although they did not change anything, the fact that he had an extremely tepid speech and saying, we may be looking into changing things now that we are going to possibly lower, although he didn't say lower, interest rates means, yeah, more likely than not in September, they're gonna cut interest rates. So get ready, boys and girls. So the stock, since it's heavily involved in mortgages, housing, and this kind of thing, bounced up from $3 and around 50 cents to close at 527. And I ended up losing out on a big deal, $2 per contract. But yeah, it just went completely nuts. I mean, last week the CEO stepped down on when was it here? When was that? On the 14th. So the stock shot up then and went up to $3 and now is trading at 5. And it hasn't traded at 5 since. Let's just go back here. God, yeah, this is almost going. This is almost a 52-week high here. That is incredible. Like, it's really gone into craziness territory, basically. But, yeah, so that was nuts. Let's go look at what else there was. Go back to numbers. So on the 19th, I started trading bull puts as well. On the 15 strike price, I traded 1 contract for 50 cents. And maybe I'd just get into all of these. I also started trading puts on 14.5 on Bull because the price started moving sideways. So I figured, hey, why not? Maybe this will expire worthless. And lastly, I traded the final put on Bull on the 21st uh, at 18 cents. The strike price was 13.5, so a total of 3 contracts spread out over, multiple strike prices. Bull started moving down, and I was just trying to find some sort of bottom to this whole thing. Stupidly, I was trying to catch a falling knife, and it's stopped out at what? In the morning of Friday at 13.81, and I had the strike prices of 15, what is that? 14.5 over here and 13.5 over here, and it just went boom to the top side again, and, the stock just moved because of that after the 10 o'clock. You can see here the overall movement after the speech. And whereas I thought I was going to be eating shares earlier in the day, and you know that's my puts would be exercised in the end, everything would have expired completely worthless and would have been good for me. But on that side, I traded every one of these for 1 penny. So I got out of them quite cleanly for a profit of $49 on the 15.5 put. Sorry, on the 15 put, on the 14.5 put, $10. And lastly, on the 13.5 put at $18.31. So nice. I also sold a put on BBAI for 14 cents. So that started to, this thing all week was kind of trading sideways. I didn't know which way it would go. So at one point it was at like 524 on Friday also. It traded down in the 520s, and it rallied a little bit after the 10 o'clock speech with the rest of the market. But I decided after the 10 o'clock speech to, what's its name, to get out of it. So what I did was I bought it back for $5. And that's a pretty easy math there. So my total on that was $14.31. I'm still sitting on the 800, or sorry, on the 100 shares that I bought at 783. Uh, the what's its name? The covered calls on that side aren't that great since we're trading out at $5, around 550-ish right now. So if I look a couple weeks out on a trade, like I like doing like weeklies, but there's nothing over here, and I would have to go all the way out to, let's see, a month in advance, and then I would suddenly hit this 5 cents here. And maybe that ain't worth it. Maybe I just wait for the stock to go back up, or I keep selling maybe cash secured put at $5 or something like this, just to bring my cost basis down. My cost basis right now, after all the trades that I've done, I think is around six $6.20. So it's not too bad. Like I haven't actually added in this week's. So after this week, what is it? 14 cents. So $6.05, somewhere around there. So I ain't too tragically worried. It's $50 off of what it should be. The stock will pop up. I will be able to get out of it at some point. Not worried at all. Lastly, I am selling a covered call. When was that? On Monday for semiconductor ARM at a 145 strike price. Uh, the stock has actually suffered a bit, and it went from 142 on, when was that? Tuesday? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, this is Tuesday. Uh, which is what I was hoping it would stick at all week, and kind of bounced around. So, and then went down to like 127 the next day. The ARM is notorious for like going up 10 points, going down 10 points, going up 10 points, and down 15 points. It's just, it's one of the most volatile things I have seen in a long time. So after the Jay Powell speech, the thing popped up to what it get to, like, I think it hit 140, yeah. And then evened out into like the high 130s. So I have a 145 call, so I hope it stays here for the rest of the week. For into next week, sorry, not the rest of this week is done. My brain is like really hurting today. So yeah, I sold it for $1.01, and I actually bought it back for 6 cents, which it's not too bad, for a total profit of $95.31. Now, mind you, like, I probably shouldn't have bought it back when I did, because the next day the stock just like jumped, but who the hell knew? I mean, sometimes it's like with earnings. Companies post really good earnings, really good forecasts into the third, fourth quarter, whatever, going forward. Year on year projections are really high, and suddenly the stock tanks because the expectations were the moon, and they only delivered, the stratosphere. And it's just like, what are you guys thinking? What is going on here? But yeah, so if we go back to this, my total for the week is a really nice $224.86. So what about next week? I did three three trades for next week so far. That it's just some things that I was either rolling over or had some bright ideas, or maybe some really stupid ideas. Let's see. So, firstly, I continued to sell covered calls on ARM at my strike price of 145, so as to bring down my cost basis, my overall cost basis, and I'm in at, I think, 143, and now with all the calls I've sold, I think, I brought my cost basis down to like 140.90, something like this. I would have to look at the other spreadsheet. I don't want to bother right now. But anyway, I sold something for 40 cents. And this, if I go back to here, is unfortunately now at $1.02. So I'm gonna have to sit on this for a little while for the next week. Big deal. Hopefully the stock sticks around the 130s or 140s and doesn't get called away. But if it does get called away, I'm not going to sit here and cry. You know, we sell these things so that if it hits the strike price, you either roll it over or you say, yeah, whatever, goodbye. I don't need the hassle or the worry anymore. Secondly, Secondly, I sold one contract in SMCI at 42 cash secured put for $61. I figured this stock's in. If I can go to SMCI, the stock has been kind of going, well, down as it may be, along with the rest of the market in the last like week and a half. Go to the 1 hour. They had, it wasn't terrible earnings. It was one of these things again where it was like they reported good forecasts, but not good enough forecasts. And maybe their business model was kind of slowing down, but it wasn't slowing down that much. And I was just like, okay, this thing is it's gonna bottom out. I'd say in about a week, week and a half, and you can see even that like it's pretty flat, even with the downturn in the market now that was going on the last couple of days, and now we have had an uptick. So I figured, nah, you know, 42 is probably a good spot to get into this whole thing. Uh, so if I go back here to this, so yeah, I got in for 61 cents. Let's see what happens. And lastly, I did three contracts, put contracts at 3.5, $3.50 on open for 15 cents a piece. Now, the way I was thinking about it was open's gone. Oh, that is the wrong chart. There you go. So open's gone basically crazy and just this is like nuts. What's been going on like the last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks. So I figured with the extremely good news of the CEO leaving, uh, the this can only benefit the stock. And even if it kind of trades sideways at like this, what's its name, at the five, 5.5, 4.5 dollar range for the next week, that's fine for me. Uh, I'm down here at a 3.5 strike price. So really, if the stock ends up buying, I'm what, 340s, 335. Yeah, I'll right now take that price. I already made money on it with this last week with this 2.5 strike price, which I sold and then ended up buying back. So yeah, I'll take another dip. Uh, it's not gonna be like a tragic mess if I end up with these shares. I mean, it's only three contracts, and I'd be buying at 350. So what, about $1,000, a little more than $1,000. Yeah, not worried. But anyway, yeah, it's my trades for last week and the next coming week. And yeah, tell me what you think, guys. What did you guys get up to? Did you guys have anything going? Did you actually make some money? Or did you end up rolling stuff over, losing? Uh, I I'm pretty happy at what happened. I don't know if you would be with that, but yeah, it's pretty good week. Let's see what happens into the next one. But yeah, like, subscribe, drop me a comment, tell me what you did, and I will see you in the next week. Cheers.